So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I want to say welcome to another episode of Just Rambling the Podcast. I am your host, Rebere Sparks. Here with me today is my brother, my friend,
Yes, sir.
Jamil Sanders. You're probably going to hear this, man, throughout the podcast. I don't know why, man, but I feel like one day I'm going to call you doctor, right?
Man,
So, Dr.
speak
Jamil,
it,
yeah, we're going to speak that. So,
Speak it.
so interesting enough, Jamil and I have been friends since we were kids. Actually, we fought.
We did.
We fought. Yeah, we fought. It was a group. We was right. Look, everybody looking like, well, yeah. So we was
We did.
so elementary school, right? So, but all the way back to Coventry, man, and then it went from Coventry. Brody ended up moving away to Nashville, right? I'm sure that was an amazing experience for you, man. You know, and then moved back home. We reconnected. But when I tell you, absolutely nothing short than an amazing man. It's this brother here, man. Dedicated father, dedicated husband. He's an entrepreneur. He is in finance. When I tell you, recognized by some of the largest, you got recognized by Cranes, right?
Yeah.
Got recognized by Cranes. 40 under 40. He's just a man of accomplishment, man. So, and you're gonna learn so much more as we even talk about this podcast. I think I actually like that one. Yeah. So, man, without further ado, what up, man? You ready?
I'm ready. You ready?
I'm ready, bro.
All right, let's
do
it.
this. Look at that. That's all good. Let's do it.
All right.
What you got for me?
So I read the chapter, Help
Okay.
with Hell.
Okay.
Great chapter, right? And it's so many themes that come to mind. And one theme is actually part of our first question.
Mm-hmm.
So when you think about like life, we cultivate experiences through like, we cultivate identities through experiences.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you think about it, like, hey, when you became a father, you didn't have that experience or that identity until you actually became a father.
Right.
And then as a professional, you get that first job and you start to develop this identity of like who Rebere is.
Right.
And so when you think about
good.
that, it's like, when was that first moment that you experienced in life was like, I can't count on anybody with confidence and I have to figure this out. Like, I got to put it on my back. I got to figure it out and I got to do this myself. Like, walk us to that exact moment of where it was like, man, you know what? I really got to, this is just me.
That's good.
It literally is just me.
Yeah. Interesting, man. What you just said is like, there's really a first for everything.
Absolutely.
Everything we do, like, right?
100%.
So, like, you know, when first got married, hey, I'm a husband.
I'm a
right?
husband,
Then,
yep.
right. Then get married. I mean, then have children. Hey, I'm a husband and a father, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then going through a situation where it's like, okay, now I'm a divorced.
Yep, a divorcee,
Right.
yeah.
I'm a divorced, and I got to figure this thing out. So, as you know, right, because we talk all the time, and you know, use with me all the way through, bro.
Yeah,
right?
for
So,
sure.
right?
Yeah, for
And
sure.
so I remember, because my ex-wife, you know, she stay-at-home mom for
Mm-hmm.
a long period of time, and then I remember having to, what you want to call it, during my time, having to figure out childcare for my children.
Yeah.
And one of the first things that I experienced was, hey, I'm having to get it because. Figure that out because I would say that I kind of became like codependent in that space. Okay, they taken care of, we good. Now I was like, hey, I got to figure it out because I still got to make money.
Yep.
Right. I still want my children to have this experience in life that they're used to. However, they need to be cared for. Right.
Yeah, and you talk about quality. When you talk about experience, quality of life. That's what
Quality
you're
of
trying
life.
to
I'm
preserve.
sorry. I
No.
appreciate
I'm
it.
just making
Yeah,
sure, just
yeah.
clarifying for the listeners. Yep, clarifying. Yep.
Thank you. I
quality of life.
appreciate that. Yeah. So the quality of life, you know, that they are used to, right?
absolutely.
So what ended up happening was I'm like, okay, I got to find childcare for my baby. So I was a member at the YMCA.
Yep.
And I remember somebody was telling me like, hey man, you need to look into, they got like this pre-K there and, you know, you could pay out of pocket and I don't think it's that expensive.
Yeah.
Made a couple calls. The lady's like, yeah, how you doing? I told her my situation. She was very, you know, understanding and like empathetic. She's like, okay, cool. Like, this is how much it is. I'm like, okay, bet. So took her there. Then I got the boys set up with before and after care.
Yep.
And so that was like one of the first experiences I remember being like, oh, okay, having to figure something out. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
And then having to explore things like certain apps, man, like care.com. Care.com
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
was like, I'm not gonna say my bread and butter, but that was like one of the things I had to like lean on because you know, a lot of people don't talk about it, but divorce brings a huge financial strain.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, and so not only was I working a 9 to 5, but then now I'm having to like venture off into other things, right? I remember at one point in time, I ended up buying a it was a 2000 and I think 9 Hyundai Sonata.
Okay. Okay.
Right, and
with the white walls.
Yeah. No, but it was a nice car actually.
No, for sure. Yeah.
But I
yeah.
used it to do like Uber. I was Ubering.
Oh, you was Ubering. Okay.
I was
okay,
Ubering and
okay.
Lyfting, and I'm like, okay, like, but all that was a part of me like figuring it out.
Figuring
like,
it
okay,
out,
I got to
yeah.
do this now.
Yep.
Because to your point, I want them to have this quality of life.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so yeah, so. Does that answer your question?
No, that does. No, and actually, just to kind of go a little bit further, like, you know, sometimes as fathers, right, we had this vulnerability of like, I even think about the emotions you had to process just to make that call.
Yeah.
And like, you're like, and it's not like an embarrassment because that person doesn't know what you got going on.
Right.
But you're like, I'm calling because
I'm in this situation,
exactly,
bro. Like,
right,
I shouldn't even be in this.
I shouldn't even be in this.
What's
Now
going
you're angry
on,
again,
bro? Like,
right?
what's
right.
going on? Like, you know, you got to explain it then. But go ahead, you right.
But no, I mean,
Yeah.
no, that's exactly it. So like you process that. 'Cause I think that's important for fathers to know. Like it's okay.
Yeah.
Like you're not the only one. You're
Yep.
not gonna be the last one.
Yep.
And so it's like, you know, you process that, you make the call, and now you're like, okay, now I'm figuring this out. But like, how do you help a father that's like, I got like the financial strain, I got the mental capacity is low, all these things. How do you help them? I mean, it is easy to say, just do it.
Mm-hmm.
But how do you encourage them to take that first step? Because that's what your book is talking about, like the journey. But I think it's also important to help people understand, like, hey, this is the first step, or this is how I even got myself to the point of like talking myself like, hey, okay, Rebere, this is normal.
Yeah.
You're not the only one. Like, what did you do? How did you walk yourself through to get to that point, to even just start calling and just get into a place of action? Because
Right.
you coming from this anger, and then like you probably, I mean, I know my experience.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like doing nothing. I
sure.
just want to kind of just sit here and just like literally just like float through life.
Yeah.
But you do got to take steps and action. So like, what actions? Like, how would you encourage someone or empower someone to take those steps?
Okay, cool. So, good question. So, I would say when it comes to taking the steps, I think almost like what they say in those, like the AA meetings,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You got to kind of like accept it, right?
Yeah, exactly, right.
So, a big part of it is acceptance, like, because a lot of times we don't want to accept it.
No,
Like,
100%.
oh, okay, like I don't
Yeah.
want this to be my life. Like, whether even if it's you even trying to fight, just even still keep your situation. It's like,
keep it intact.
it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
no, man, like you got to accept it,
Mm-hmm.
right? And sit in that. And then after that, you got to kind of like assess and take inventory of what's going on around you,
Mm-hmm.
and don't avoid it. That's
Yep.
one of like the biggest things a man can do is like avoid what needs to be
Right.
be done, right? And then it's like, don't be afraid to take the step, bro. Like, you know, if you see, hey, I need to make this decision so that this can happen, then you got to make that decision.
You got to make that decision.
You got to make that decision, because if not, it ain't just you. Obviously, the name of the book is Daddy Enduring Disaster. So
No, exactly.
there's someone else involved. Then that someone else is your child or your children.
Yep.
So you just can't not do anything.
Yeah, you got to move.
You got to move, man. And it's funny, man. I think this is probably a perfect line to drop. One thing I didn't mention is that Jamil and I are not just brothers in the natural, right? But in the deeper sense, right? So we both are members of Alpha Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. And one of the things, you know, we can say, like, it's tough, but that's one of the dopest poems, man. Test of a Man,
Test of
right?
a Man,
yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, Test of a Man,
So and that and you just got to pass the test.
Yeah,
You know?
man, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. And like continuing that, right? So here it is. Rebere has grown up. But you know what? Guess what? A father out there is talking to young Rebere. And how does that father, in this case, you're kind of talking to young Rebere, right? But how does he help, you know, young Rebere or young whoever X name navigate with the hurt, the pain, maybe even feeling like the reason why the divorce was because of them? And how do you help them carry that weight? What would be some words of encouragement that you could tell a father, maybe even share with their son to help them kind of process that, as you would have had to do for young Rebere, or you done for your sons even
It's
a
good.
lifetime?
Yeah. So I would say to young Rebere, like when you look at like life where we are now, and I'm not like a person to where the world has been able to see my life, but I'll use this analogy like Bel Air, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
so we have all seen. I want to say we all, right? But I would say a good majority of us have seen Fresh Prince of Bel Air. So we've seen the whole journey Will Smith has taken to the point to where he's played in Bad Boys and he's played all these amazing roles, and he go through all the stuff he's went
See
through in
that
his marriage
growth.
life. We see that
Yep.
growth. Then they revamped Fresh Prince of Bel Air, called it Bel Air, and it takes me to this scene in Bel Air to where the guy that's playing Will Smith now, he's standing on like this road and he's staring,
the valley,
and he's just
off.
thinking like, hey, what's about to happen? And then Will Smith walks in,
Yeah.
or up next to him, and he's like talking to him, hey man, this was you about to experience, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And so I'll take that picture or vision in my mind when I go about answering this question. But I tell young Rebere, like, listen, man, more people love you than what you think. Okay, and it's great for you to be imperfect, right?
Yep.
You're not a victim. You have made some decisions, right, that are probably a result of why you are here too. You know, and that's okay because you have to be accountable. But in your accountability, understand that you're imperfect.
Yep.
And the reason I want to tell you that, young Rebere, is because you're probably gonna make other not so great decisions in your life.
Yep.
And you probably might be tied to people that may not make the best decisions, right?
Yep, exactly.
And because of that, you have to be forgiving not only to yourself but to other people. You can't harbor hate in your heart, because if you do, it'll destroy you.
Oh,
right. It's a cancer.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you want to make sure, man, that whatever it is or that you're getting ready to experience, that you have to get to the other side. Because once you get to the other side, you're going to learn that everything you experienced as a child, whether you felt rejected, whether you felt like you were peculiar, you weren't like everyone else, all of that is going to make sense. And all these things that you think people don't like, they're going to absolutely love about you in the future. And those things that you have and that you're going to gain, don't hide those.
Yeah.
Don't bury those, because those things, those attributes, those characteristics are going to put you in places where God wants you. And the things that's going to occur in your life, you're going to kind of probably be encouraged to hide who you are, to suffocate those amazing gifts and talents you have. But listen, it's okay. Be yourself.
Yep.
Okay. And God is going to put the right people in your life. The situations that's occurring, they're not happening to you, they're happening for you.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
And you're gonna be just fine.
Yeah.
You're gonna be just fine. You're gonna feel some hurt, you're gonna feel some hate, you're gonna feel offended, you're gonna feel like all these things. You're gonna feel like giving up.
Yeah.
But I'm encourage you, keep going. You know what I mean? Because you're gonna be one handsome brother, man.
Yeah.
You're gonna be in shape, dog.
You're
You're
looking, boy.
gonna be looking good, boy.
Yeah,
what's going on, Jack?
Oh man, that's
Go
too
ahead.
funny, man. This is, hey, you know what though? But those are all great points, man.
Okay.
And it's so funny because it's one of my favorite biblical verses, John 13:7, where you talk about, it's like I know the plans I have for you, right? And not for the you may not understand today, but someday you will.
Right.
Excuse me, I misquoted that.
You're right.
But it makes you think about that, right? Like all of those life experiences prepared Rebere for this moment,
Right.
this book. And it is literally confirmation that it's like, hey, I understand my purpose now.
Yeah.
This wasn't done in vain. It wasn't done by accident. Yeah, it sucked going through it.
Yeah.
But it was because honestly, you going through it prepared me. Because
Yeah,
remember,
that's
we was
crazy.
talking.
Yep.
It was like
Yep.
I remember times we sitting there, at the bar, right?
Yep,
We
yep.
chilling, and you're like, yeah, bro, it's gonna be all right.
It's gonna be all
and
right.
I'm like, man, what you talking about,
Yeah,
man?
yeah,
This
yeah,
sucks.
yeah.
Like,
Yep.
But I appreciate it. And that's one of those things, man, giving you your flowers, because you really did help me navigate that straight up. Like,
No doubt.
I appreciate you.
It's
for
funny
that.
because I remember when you began to go through it, I could feel it.
Oh, yeah.
I remember I said,
Yeah,
what's
yeah.
going on, brother? You was good? And we had our convo. But I felt like, I'm not going to lie to you, I was thankful to God that I experienced what I experienced so I can be there for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, like you said, a lot of people don't know, like, bro, you were in Cleveland, then you moved to Nashville. So those relationships that you had there,
Yeah.
now here you restarted.
I'm
restarted,
starting
right?
from scratch again.
Right.
Yeah,
and
yep.
so I felt blessed to be a part of that with you, bro.
Yeah, 100%.
You know,
Yeah,
so
nah.
but no doubt.
And it was funny too, because it was like I remember we sitting there and you like smile. I'm like, man, what are you smiling for, bro? Like you're like, man, this is crazy.
Yeah,
this is crazy.
it's crazy.
Right,
It's
right.
crazy. But it was like, man, I knew, and I don't want to sound like, I knew, but
Yeah.
I knew, like,
Yeah.
oh, bro, you gonna be okay.
Yeah, you did. You
know,
did.
you're
said
gonna be
that.
okay.
You was gonna be okay.
And being there with you made me realize, see, it wasn't in vain.
It wasn't in vain.
It wasn't in
Exactly.
vain, bro.
It's
There's somebody you
confirmation.
love and you care about and you want to see be the best version of themselves.
Yep.
You understand this thing it's temporary.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, so yeah.
No, I appreciate that,
No
brody.
doubt, brody.
You know, in the book, you talk about these low points. As men, we all can experience those.
Yeah.
We may not talk about them, but we all experience them in our own way. And so you talk about these low points. And what I think about those low points is like, the man in the arena, right? You here by yourself again. There's nobody cheering. There's no parade. There's nothing, right?
Right.
But you still got to exit the arena and go back and work your job, right? Or whatever that may be. And so with that whole like theme, how does Rebere navigate walking that lonely road again, you know, as a father, as a dad, or excuse me, as a dad, as a father, but more important as an individual, because you're an individual before a dad, you're an individual before a professional. So how do you navigate, and how would you encourage others to navigate that space? Because it really kind of comes around a journey of solitude. Yeah. But I'm gonna ask you, what does solitude mean to you in that experience, in that season?
Yeah. So solitude. So a couple things, and it's kind of like just what I'm hearing in your question. A couple things, like just because it's like what you're experiencing, it's no stamp on who you are. You're right. You're not this divorce.
It's like a
and
stigma.
Just,
Exactly
you're right. You ain't got this scarlet letter on you, bro.
Yeah.
Like, this is a part of life.
It's part of life,
right? It's a part of life. You're not the only person experiencing. They're gonna be last, not the first, not the last person that's experiencing it, right?
Yep.
So it's just understanding that it's seasons of life, and this is a season that you're navigating through, right? I forget where that is, man. It's Ecclesiastes. I'm not even being here quoting
Right.
exactly.
I got you.
But I know it's a season for everything. So it's just a season. Just like there's a season for solitude.
Yep.
Right.
Exactly. Yep.
And I think that, like, in my own personal journey, bro, I'm even still learning. Hey, that solitude season is important on so many levels, because I would say I avoided it.
Oh yeah.
I avoided it. It's like I don't want to be. I didn't want to be by myself. Nah, bro. You gotta be. Because when you by yourself, bro, that's when you learn like some dope stuff about yourself. And I'm even learning that even in my season of life now,
exactly, right? Absolutely.
Like, I enjoy my alone time. Yeah. Right. And I'm intentional about it, because I'm like, okay, I'm learning different things about myself. I'm learning that I like this. I don't like that. I'm learning that this is fun to me. That's not interesting. I'm learning that I'd rather do this than to do that. Right. I'm learning like who God is beginning to mold me to be. You know what I mean? And there's times that, like, bro, to this day, bro, like, I wrestle with God. You know what I mean? On things. And it's like,
you just ain't got the messed up hip.
I ain't got that messed up hip. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Shoulder.
It's like,
but you know what I'm saying? But the hip, I'm good, Jack.
Right.
So, but yeah, man, like, it's difficult to sit by yourself, man. It's difficult. I'm speaking to the brothers that's experiencing it.
Absolutely.
But it's going to be beneficial for you. Right. And I'm also learning that there's power in that, because as you go through these life experiences, whether it's fatherhood, relationships, and you have these mirrors, because your relationship with your children is also mirrors too, right? Just as much as it will be in an intimate relationship.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah,
and you spend time with yourself. You're like, oh wow, I needed this.
Yeah.
And not only on a recharging level, but like a redevelopment or evolution, right? Evolving, you know what I mean? Shout out to you too, bro. I remember when you was going through your season, man, you created this thought or this identity of evolved meal.
Yeah,
right.
I did.
Because evolution, bro, it's inevitable, right?
Yeah,
like,
it is. You have to. It's a force.
You have to.
It's
right?
either forced or is a passive process. But it's
like, right. So am I going to change? Or am I going to remain the same? And if you remain the same, it's not going to serve you well.
Yeah, exactly.
Because, and I said it because when it happens to you, speaking like divorce and all of that, right, you're going to have all these emotions, these thoughts, these feelings, these things that you just feel. But if you sit in that, right, you will never have an opportunity to allow this thing to push you forward, right?
Yep.
Right? And then the emotions and feelings that you're experiencing in real time, they're going to change, because time is going to give you more perspective.
Exactly.
And like I say, how time heals.
And you heal. You're healing
right?
through that journey as well.
Right. Yeah. But just knowing, bro, like, that solitude is going to be beneficial to you, and you learn skill. What's that game?
Which one?
Solitary.
Oh, solitaire. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, solitary. Yeah. I remember I was watching my granny play that. Like, literally with some cards.
Yeah, for sure.
52.
Oh, that's old school.
School.
That's old school. Yeah.
But I remember actually playing that on my first PC.
Yeah.
And you become strategic.
Correct.
And you become a little bit more cerebral and intentional.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Now I seen this spread before. Okay, now I move like this more. That's kind of what happened to you.
Okay.
when you are in solitude.
Solitude. Yeah, exactly.
Right, give you more time to think, give
Yep.
you more time to process, give you more time to have strategy, how to grow, when to heal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I would say that being alone is actually I don't want to say being alone because it's different.
I know
than
what you mean.
being
Yeah. But
solitude,
right.
But spending that time with yourself is important.
Yeah. No, I think that's good, bro. Like when you think about like sometimes we're afraid of the silence, as you mentioned, and we're afraid of like what is going to be revealed to us, but it's super important.
Yeah.
Because we got to do an inventory of what's there. Because like you said, you don't want to not do that inventory and you take it into your next relationship. Now it's the mirror.
Yeah.
Ooh, these are some unresolved things. Why does this keep showing up in these relationships, either with my children, romantically, etc. And I think that's really good. You know, when I think about, you know, the chapter, it's like, hey, yo, that solitude. At the time you was experiencing it, you didn't quite understand it, but it was all by intentional design that you had to experience it.
You know, it's funny. It's coming to me right now. So you remember, and I know as a believer, you remember the story of Elijah when he got, he heard that Jezebel wanted his head. So she put a decree out. So he fled to this cave. And we would talk about this too. But he went to this cave. And because life was so loud, he expected to hear God and all these loud things. Hear this drop, the right drop. Oh, is that you?
Right here,
I'm looking because you hearing he's probably feeling that the loudness is what he's need to listen to. But it was like, no, God came to him in that still small voice.
Yep.
So it's like that's important of being silent.
Yep.
Because you can hear.
Yep. You and I, we've had conversations around like what we aspire,
right?
What we hope to accomplish, what does good look like, what does broken look like, all of those things in between. And as like I shared previously, you know, with my lady, right? I witness what they do really well,
right?
And you and I talk about this, and it's dope, right?
Yep.
And it's like one of those things where, you know, if she was here, right, and she had a chance to be open-minded, just ready to receive it, like, hey, I'm ready to get in. I'm ready to get in the trenches with you, right? And I think it's so important is that how would you articulate what that dope co-parenting relationship looks like? Because I think a lot of times people, man or woman, have a viewpoint of that, but we just don't know how to get there, or we're not as confident on how to articulate it. So how would you articulate? She's sitting in this chair. What does that sound like?
So I would do it like this. So I remember when I think I was like fourth or fifth grade. A friend of mine, he and his mother and father were divorced, right? And so his sister had a birthday party.
Okay.
Right. So the sister, and I'll never forget this. They came and picked me up in the Jeep.
Yeah.
Then we all in the Jeep. We singing R&B music together. I'm in the car with them, right?
Yeah, right.
You know, and his sister, you know, then we go to Olive Garden. And everybody just having a good old time,
right? Present, yeah.
Yeah, right. And I didn't really see mom and dad like kissing and hugging her like that.
Yeah,
but everybody was just cool.
Yeah.
And so I later found out that they had been divorced for a while.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow.
You're like, that's crazy.
That's
like,
crazy.
Yeah, right.
So for me, when I went through a divorce, I'm like, look, our co-parent situation could look like that.
Yeah, we can have that.
To where the kids become more important than whatever our differences might be.
Absolutely.
And having that united front to where the kids can be their authentic selves and not feel like they have to be this way at mom's or be this way at dad's or be this way towards dad because of mom or be this way towards mom because of dad. It's like our kids can be who they are at all times, right? With us in the same room. They don't have to feel like, oh, should I go over there and hang with my dad when I'm with mom at the basketball game?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
no, it's good.
No, we family.
We sit together.
We sit together.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Like
right.
having that united front because we want our children to know, like, and I'm sure they know, but we want our children to know there's no condition on our love, right? And they don't have to feel like they got to choose a side.
Yep.
And that they know that mom and dad will come together for them. You understand? Co-parenting, to me, I saw this lady mention, I was watching something on, I think it was on Instagram, and she was like, co-parenting is just unnatural. It's unnatural, like, right?
Oh, yeah. I'm curious.
It's unnatural. And I'm curious, like, why is that, right? And she was saying, like, the family unit is supposed to be together, right?
Yep, the nuclear family. Yep.
Right. But the reality of it is we don't, because we can't be together, right? And we don't have to be together. We can still show a level of togetherness.
Correct. That's good. Yep.
You know, and to where, hey, we show up at a recital, and we all sitting there because this our family, right? Regardless, you family, I'm family, because we share, and our children share the same blood.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And if it comes down to it, we gonna have their best interests.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
And I want them to know, like, hey man, my mom and dad gone.
They dope.
Yeah, they dope, bro. Like it don't matter. Like we can be at at the park running to dad.
Yeah.
And you could say, hey, can you take the kids? And
it's all good.
I got something to do now. Oh, cool, man. Come on, y'all.
Yeah, we good.
Hey, what you got going on tonight? Oh, cool, we gotta go to this comedy show. Cool. Oh, good.
Yeah,
Hey, y'all go ahead,
yourself.
like, and it's can we go over? It's perfect, bro. Like y'all have a good time. It's free flowing. So then the kids can know, because I personally think it puts a stifling on how they see the growth. Yeah,
absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, man, how do I navigate? And I don't want that pressure.
Yeah.
For them, like that's not theirs to bear.
No.
And I would say, man, from a co-parenting standpoint, let's create it for what we want it to look like, but for the betterment for everybody involved.
Yeah. No, that's good. And it makes me think about, like, when we talk about, raising children in love, right?
Yeah.
And so I tell you, like, hey, with my lady, I witnessed like how her and her child's father co-parent, which that's like my daughter, right?
Right.
So I look at my daughter and I look at the amount of, like, just true joy and love to what you're talking about.
Yep.
She don't have to worry about, here's my mom or my dad talking. We all sitting together. I'm actually talking to the dad.
Yep.
We talking about sports. We talking about everything. But it goes back to your point. She has no concept of conflict.
Yeah.
And kids really shouldn't have no concept of conflict. The only thing they should, now I'm not saying conflict will never ever happen.
I know what you mean. Yep.
But you know what I mean? Like it should always be a point where it's just like, hey, like they keep the main thing, which is raising us in a space of love, that, hey, it's all good.
Yep.
Everybody's in a good space. And I do think about that growth, because I can see the difference of, like, oh, when this is done right, it's dynamic, it's beautiful.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I've seen it, like I see your situation, like kids flourish.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because they just, like I said, I don't want to sound redundant, man, but like they're free.
Yeah, they're free. No, that's
they're
it.
free. So yeah,
that's it. That's the mic drop.
Yeah.
You talk about in the book, right? You say it was a point that you acknowledged that, the people that didn't show up. And I think it's easy, right, to focus on that. I want to bring it back to this. Mm-hmm. But it's one thing to tell people, like, hey, thank those that did show up for you. But sometimes it's difficult to identify that. So, like, when you think about the people that did show up for you, what was the characteristics that they exhibited that you was like, this is good? So if another person was saying, hey, Rebere, I have no tribe. I'm starting from ground zero. Where do I begin? How do I look at, like, who's for me or who's not for me?
Right.
And I think that's very important, because discernment is a key skill that we all should have.
Right.
So, like, how would you advise other fathers as they think through, right? Because they're going to read the book. Mm-hmm. How do they navigate finding that tribe, establishing that community of people that's good for them? Mm-hmm. Or, hey, how do I move people that may not be in my best interest?
Right. So I would say, knowing what I know now, prayer is going to be huge there, right? You mentioned discernment.
Yep.
So prayer is like you asking God to direct you to the right people, right? And also what your life looks like. Like, what are your part of? Involve your children, right? Like we were recording the other day talking about, I'm taking the kids to the gym, right? So people see, okay, fitness is important to me, right?
Yep.
And then you find people that are like, oh yeah, like maybe we can all get the kids together to go do X, Y, Z, right?
Yep.
That's a good way to find a village. Another way is also just asking for help, right? We have not because we ask not. Let people know your situation. And then you watch people that offer. You know what I mean? Like, hey, how you feeling, man? You mind if the kids come through, hang out, you know what I'm saying? Hey, or come join you in your mess.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I'm gonna pull up, man. I was thinking about, you know what I mean, the game come on, I was gonna bring over some food.
Yeah. You
know what I'm saying? We just chill or something, kids can run around and play, you know what I mean? And I think, like, you just kind of gotta, like, is not comfortable. It's very much so uncomfortable.
Oh,
but
for
you
sure.
got it's a waiting game. You kind of got to like wait and see, and you do have people that are going to be there. I'll say this,
for
right?
sure. Yeah.
Now is it going to be like seamless and easy? My experience wasn't the seamless to easy. I mentioned the care.com. If your parents are still in your life, make mention to mom or dad, whoever you may have. If you have siblings, you know what I'm saying? If you have friends, like, just let people know what's going on in your situation, and then give people the opportunity to be like, hey, look. Another thing too, gym memberships, right?
Okay. Yep.
So I know I just spoke a little bit about going to the gym, but like the YMCA, very much so family oriented.
Yeah, exactly. Right. They are.
Working out at Lifetime, right?
Yep.
Like family oriented, right? Finding these spaces to where you see other families, right? Also, your children's friends,
Okay.
right? So like your kids may have friends that's probably asking them, like, hey, can you come spend the night?
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you get a lot of that. Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then letting your kids know, hey, if you got friends that you want to go over to their houses or they want to come over here, connect me with their parents.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? We can have conversation. Little league sports, right? Yep. You'll be amazed how, and I'm focusing specifically on the kids. The kids are going to find friends and connect with friends and like, oh, I want to go hang with so-and-so.
Yeah.
Right? And so-and-so's mom or dad like, yeah, I'm taking the kids to go see a movie, get some pizza, man. They can have a sleepover.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you kind of got to almost like create a village.
Yeah, you got to create
the
village.
You got to get out there. Don't sit in it by yourself because you're going to become overwhelmed. You know what I mean? And interesting enough, I'm going to say this. Interesting enough, like, this is why it's going to be a part 2 of this book, right?
Yeah.
Specifically talking about dating.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But, who you date?
Speak on it.
You know what I mean? Like who you date,
Yep.
because if you dating somebody and having children is an issue, they'll you ask that right away. I got this many kids.
Yeah, right.
This is
That's
what I got
not the way
going on.
down,
My
right?
kids is important to me.
Right,
My kids are important to me. Like, is this gonna be an issue?
Right.
You know what I mean? And then give that young lady, hey, opportunity. Hey, okay, I'll take the kids. Like, we can go do this.
Yeah,
whatever.
exactly. Yeah.
But that's a big deal, right?
Absolutely.
The person that you choose to be a partner in your life, so I think it's all different type of facets you can find this village or help. You just kind of gotta like get creative and look at your situation and not looking at what you don't have, but looking at what you do have
As resources,
Yeah.
absolutely, and
So-
tools. Yeah, that's actually good, and it's so funny that you mentioned it about, when it comes to dating, right? Because it's like, okay, you go from this stage, because in order to date, you got to be vulnerable. You
Right.
got to be able to say, hey, you're transparent. And I think about that, like, so, obviously it's a book for dads, and every dad is in different phases of life. But when they even think about, all right, you know what? I do want to find potentially that helpmate, right?
Right.
Because it still is help
Absolutely.
included in there.
Yeah.
Because I think about, we talked about this. Like, yeah, bro, you ready to start there? I'm like, nah, man, I'm chilling.
Yeah.
And you was like, man, shut up, man. Yeah.
No, I'm already knowing.
But it's so funny because like in hindsight, I stuck to my guns.
Yeah.
I did. I took
Yeah.
my time, and it was very important for me to take that time. But like, how do you think about like your journey? Even on the exit. I know we talk about help, and it's so many other ways we can unpack this chapter.
Yeah.
But like, how did you work to, okay, all right, I'm at the place, I'm feeling good, I moved on from the divorce, I'm working on my kids, we thriving. Now I'm actually looking for, I want to find that helpmate. I want to find that woman of the future. How did you kind of look through that? I mean, obviously you said, hey, I was disclosing, I got children, this is important,
Right.
But like, even at the individual level, what was important, like characteristic wise? 'Cause I think that's even important of like, how do men potentially, or fathers, look for, all right, if I look for a woman, I got the situation, I got kids, I might got to talk about my divorce, I got to talk about where I maybe had shortcomings in that situation and what did I learn from it? And it caused you to be vulnerable. So like,
Right.
how did you kind of work through that process to get yourself to that space to say, you know what, if I'm gonna go back into the market, this is what I'm looking for, this is how I'm gonna approach it, walk them through those steps?
Yeah, so I was actually so about a year and a month after divorce, I ended up getting with a young lady.
Yep.
And at that time, the most important thing was that you got along with my kids, right?
Yep.
And the other piece is that looking back now, I'm no longer
For sure,
with
yeah.
that, right? Situation, but looking at it, having that partner having kids was important, right? Another thing too, a space that you can be vulnerable,
Yep.
right? And this is just in hindsight and learning what I know now that I learned through processes.
For sure.
But like somebody that is willing and understanding to align with your faith too, right? How that person is raised, how they look at children, how they look at what a blended situation could potentially be, right? Because now you're looking at like, okay, I'm potentially looking to settle down,
Yeah, exactly.
right, and make this my space, and it ain't just me; it's me and my kids. I want to make sure everybody is comfortable in the situation. Another thing too, having those conversations with your kids, like what do you think about so and so?
Yeah, no, that's great.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
because coming out of a divorce, that's not one of the first questions you ask, right?
Yeah,
right?
it is.
Hey, what do
yeah.
you think? And kids, you will learn. They're gonna tell you. They're gonna kind of tell you sometimes what they think you want to hear.
Yeah,
Right.
Is she okay?
Yeah,
Right,
everybody's
right.
okay. Everybody's good, right?
Right. Yeah.
So it's learning, like
Yeah.
asking the question, like, hey, what do you think? You know what I mean?
Right.
What do you think?
Truly
How do
think,
you
yeah,
feel?
yeah.
Right? And be honest and let them know, because one thing I learned is that your kids really want to see you happy.
Absolutely.
And then when they begin to learn, right? And then when they begin to learn a situation, they're like, look, we just want to see you happy, dog. You know what I mean? So, but let them know, look, like, yes, daddy wants to be happy. Yes, dad wants to find love. Yes, dad wants to be in a relationship, committed relationship, but y'all are coming along with me in that, right? Also, letting your significant other know, like, your children's mother doesn't need to be replaced because your children have a mother.
Yep.
But you'll be a bonus.
Yep.
Right.
Bonus,
You'll be a bonus mom, right? And so I would say just having a conversation, first and foremost, learning who you are, I would say that's big too.
Yeah.
Right? Because as you learn more who you are, you're gonna see, okay, is this alignment or is this just me like,
yeah, like what am I chasing in this
what am
particular
I
situation?
right,
Yeah,
what's
what am I
going on here?
pursuing?
So yeah, as you begin to, date, like, and you said it, man. You said it multiple times on this podcast. That solitude is going to be important.
Oh man, it's golden.
Because you're going to have to learn, like, who you are, what you like, what you don't like. Are you pacifying a thing? Are you just here being silly, but you're here so you won't get fined, right?
Yeah.
But like, are you just here?
Right.
Are you just in it because you can be?
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
Or is it like, no, like, I'm going to be in this situation
because I want to be.
Because I want to be in this, right? But a big part of that is kind of discovering who you are.
Yeah, no, that's really good, bro. Because I think about that all the time. Like, like you said, I'm living your book as well, or I lived your book as well,
right?
And continue to live, right? It's evolution, and I think about that all the time. It's like, if I didn't have that opportunity of solitude, I would be looking at everything. I would be thinking everything is either an enemy or a threat, or I now have paranoia around any and everything. Like, you literally can like start creating like ghosts out of situations that's not real situations.
That's real.
And that's why it's so important for fathers and as well as dads to really like reconcile, like, who am I? What is it that I enjoy? Like, literally go through that journey of like dating yourself again.
Yep.
And even to the point, because like when you understand yourself a little bit better, you know where you're strong, you also know where you're weak, and you know where you need help, as you mentioned in the book.
Good. Yep.
And it's like, because if you don't understand where you're weak, then you can't say I need help, because you're gonna be like, I don't need it. I'm good.
I'm good right there.
Right. And I think that's just so important, man. And so, I got to the end of my questions.
All right.
But it's very important as you think about this chapter, right? People are going to read it. How would you want to close out this episode of, just what would you want to share? Like, how do you want to close it out? Because we always talk about story points. Yeah. And this podcast, this recording is just another story point. How would you close it out? So
I'm going to close it out two ways.
Okay, go ahead. Sure. Yeah, you got it.
To what you're saying, for the chapter closing it out here on this podcast is entitled "Help with Hell." And when I thought about that, I was thinking about those that were helping me, but helping me the way they thought I wanted to be helped.
Ooh, that's good.
Right. And so I think I give an example, and I am very thankful. I'm gonna give this example. Like my mother during that time, my mother likes gifts, right? and she would buy my kids anything. But what she wasn't noticing, she's buying my kids clothes. She's like buying them all these snacks.
Yeah.
Right? And they all, my grandma bought me
Grandma
that.
got the yeah.
And I'm like, Ma, I gotta fold and wash. I gotta wash and fold this stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's like, look, man, like I appreciate that gesture,
sure.
and it might make you feel good, and it might help the kids too. But discuss and consult with me before you're doing all this, because I know your intent is to help me, but it's causing me more hell.
Right. Ooh, yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
It's eliminating capacity.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'll say it from this standpoint: if you're somebody that sees a man going through a trying time with kids, ask, hey, how can I help you?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah,
how can I help you?
Yeah.
Right. And then the other part, how I'm gonna close this out, is that, and you done with your questions?
No, you good. Yeah, you
Cool.
good. Yeah, you good.
So the name of this podcast is Just Rambling.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, you good.
And I know you remember when I first started
Yep.
this, right? So this, our second season, was dedicated to the book. So one of the biggest things about Just Rambling, at the end of every episode, I give every single one of my guests an opportunity to just ramble. It don't matter what it's about.
Okay.
It can be any subject, but I give every guest an opportunity to just ramble, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So, but interesting enough, I'm the guest.
Yeah, you the guest.
Yeah, I'm the guest.
So
I'm the guest.
Right.
So what I'm going to do in my rambling, I'm going to be consistent on this. Every man that comes on my show, I'm going to teach the world, or hopefully this is teaching the world and other men, how to give men, their friends, their brothers, their flowers while they're still here.
Okay.
So with that being said, brother, I'm going to ramble about you, man.
All right.
So I'm going to speak this into existence right now. Okay. So Dr. Jamil Sanders. So I'm going to tell you, brother, I think you are probably one of the most inspirational men that God has placed in my life. Man. I've seen you go through, I know your story. You like you said, you can write your own book, right? And I've seen you go through it. I've seen you raise your children, provide for your children. You have been that source of wisdom, not just to your children, but your friends and your family. I think in our circle, when men have a question and they want to ask for some guidance, they gonna call bro, right? So as my sayings, I know even on our line, they gonna call me, right. And like I said, man, to you being driven, man, I remember I was so excited for you, man, when you got your master's.
Yeah, you was.
And I remember I'm there, and I see that the babies, they all excited too, man. But it was inspirational. Then you became a professor, right? Then the organizations you work for, you don't work for no small organization, right? I ain't gonna put it on the podcast, right? But not only that, brother, you an entrepreneur too, man. You know what I mean? And so, and I can never say that I've ever seen Jamil be inconsistent. I think right. So that's one thing I'm proud to say about you, because when somebody asks me, like, who do you got in your life that you can hit up, or who do you have in your circle that you can say, oh, okay, like, are smarter than you, right? Because if you the smartest one in your circle, then it's a problem.
You got a
right?
problem,
right.
So
so brother, I'm gonna tell you, man, I'm glad I can call you my brother, my friend. I'm excited for you, because I know you're gonna go after something else.
Yeah, for sure.
I know you're gonna go after something else, man. So I just want to tell you thank you, bro, for coming on this show. Thank you for being a loving and a supportive brother. Absolutely. And thank you for being an absolutely amazing man. All right. And that's my rambling. That's my flowers to you, brother.
Hey, man, appreciate you.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Love you, bro.